Reach is making sure that you're getting in touch with more of your qualified prospects every single day. Okay, it's pretty obvious that if you want to grow your business, you need to get more of your targeted prospects to know who you are, right? Because if they don't know who you are, they can't buy from you. Okay, so reach is the process and the systems that we use to get in touch with more prospects and let them know about our business. Then there's resell. Resell is making sure that we maximize the lifetime value of every customer that we get by continuing to resell them our products and services, to upsell them to more expensive products and services, and to cross-sell them to other complementary products and services. So resell, upsell, and cross-sell to maximize the lifetime value of a client or customer. And then finally, there's referral. Okay, we all know how valuable referrals are, right? I mean, if we could just grow our business through referrals, through all the positive word of mouth that we're getting out there in the marketplace, that would be the easiest and best way to grow our business. Unfortunately, that's typically not enough, right? But there's oftentimes so much more that we can be doing to generate referrals at our business if we're proactive and thoughtful about our approach. So those are the 4 R's of this R4 marketing framework. And the idea behind it, again, is keeping it simple, keeping it focused, right? If you focus on enhancing your reputation at your business, reaching out to new prospects every day, reselling, upselling, and cross-selling those customers that you do get, and then delivering a fantastic customer experience so that you get more referrals. Well, those referrals are essentially people saying positive things about you, which is enhancing your reputation and making this whole process easier to move up the pyramid. Okay? So by focusing on these 4 R's, we can achieve maximum growth at our business. In fact, what I have found is that any of these 4 R's can lead to 25% growth, annual growth on their own at just about any business. But maximizing and optimizing all 4 of them is where you can get to 100% growth or more. There really is a compounding effect. And this is where you see those businesses in any industry that seem to just be growing so much faster than the rest of the industry, and they seem to be doing everything right. Well, those businesses are maximizing these 4 R's. Whether they're conscious of it or not, they've hit the nail on the head and they're maximizing, maybe not even all of those 4 R's, maybe 3 out of 4. And that's allowing them to grow much faster than the rest of their industry. And like I said, you can see that in any industry out there. So let's go ahead and dive into each of these and talk about specific strategies and tactics to make sure that you're maximizing each of these 4 R's, starting with reputation. And there's a reason that the reputation is at the base of that pyramid. I really do believe that it is the foundation of marketing going forward. Why is that? Well, it's easier than ever for consumers to find the feedback of other consumers to help them make a decision about who to buy from. And you'll see all kinds of sites out there that rate businesses, right? There's the Yelps of the world. Google actually has ratings built into its search engine. I showed you TripAdvisor earlier. All kinds of ways for people to review businesses and review products and services and find out what other people think. In fact, 70% of consumers say that the feedback they find online is the number 2 factor in making a decision about who to work with or visit, or buy from. 7 out of 10 who read reviews share them with friends, family, and colleagues. Okay, so these reviews are getting passed around now that we have this social world that we live in. And 74% of U.S. consumers say that they choose to do business based on online feedback. So the reality is that everyone is out there talking. And the question is, who's talking about you and what are they saying? But make no mistake, they are talking. I like this title of this book from Pete Blackshaw. Satisfied customers tell 3 friends, angry customers tell 3,000. Okay, you may have heard something along the lines of before that, an angry or dissatisfied customer would tell 10 people for every one person that a satisfied customer would tell. Well, now because of social media, those reviews and those negative feelings are so easy to pass around that an unhappy customer will get online, get on the social media sites, and tell thousands of their closest strangers on the internet. So people are talking about you, and they're talking about your business. I mean, who? Customers, prospects, competitors, disgruntled employees, ex-spouses, former business partners and investors, and then what we call the trolls, which are just the permanently aggrieved. These are the people that just love to get online and beat up businesses, it seems like, for no good reason. This gentleman is a perfect example of the way people are out there talking about businesses and sharing their feelings about businesses. You can see this gentleman has a video camera attached to the dashboard of his car. He's driving away from a restaurant that he's just eaten at, and he's leaving a restaurant review while he's driving away from it. And you think, well, big deal. Let this guy say whatever he wants. Who's going to pay attention to that? Well, you may be able to see here down below, 35,000 people have viewed this video. So people are really paying attention to this kind of information, and you can't just ignore it. In fact, reviews are now at the center of search. And this is a copy of a TechCrunch article saying that Google acquires Zagat to flesh out local reviews. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Zagat guides, the books that were published to review bars and restaurants and hotels all around the world. For people traveling to a new city, these guides were indispensable for a long time. Well, the value that they had was all of these other people's ratings and consumers and reviews captured in this book, so that if you were traveling to a new city for the first time, you could find the places that you thought would be best to go and visit and kind of lower your risk of getting lost in this new city and ending up in the wrong places. Well, Google realized that that was the most important information that they could present to searchers to help them make their buying decisions. Right? It was the opinions of other people. And there's good reason for that. The data shows 90% of online consumers trust recommendations from people they know, which makes sense, right? We all trust those recommendations we get from friends and family. But look at this, 70% of online consumers trust unknown users, people we don't even know, while only 14% of online consumers trust advertising. Okay, so there's a huge gap between the advertising that we're doing to get customers and how people trust that versus the reviews of other people. And that's why Google bought Zagat and is now incorporating reviews at the center of their search engines. This is a screenshot that I did. I just typed in Denver plumbers into the search engine in Google. Okay, just to see what comes up. Well, what comes up is the Google local listings, which if you do a search for any business in Google now, or any type of business, category of business like Denver plumbers or Denver pizza restaurants or anything like that, you'll see these local reviews. And the local reviews will have the local businesses there in that category. They'll have the addresses and phone numbers. There'll be an image of a map to show you where they're located. But what's most important is to look at this. There are now, everything that I've circled in review there, circled in red there, is a review score of these businesses based on the reviews of past customers of that business. Now, what's really, really, really frightening, and this is an interesting case study here, is this second plumbing company, Applewood Plumbing, Heating and Electric. They spend an awful lot of money on marketing in the Denver area. You can see by all the ads that they run and things like that. So they're spending a lot of money. However, look at the review score that Applewood has from previous customers. They have a 3 out of 30 on 52 reviews. That, by any measure, is a failing grade. A 3 out of 30. So they're spending all of that money on marketing to drive people largely to the search engines, because people search in the search engines before they make a decision to buy. And what do they see? They see that the far majority of Applewood's past customers that have gone on here and left a review are completely dissatisfied with the service that they receive from Applewood. So I think you can see now why I say that reputation is the foundation of marketing going forward, because it doesn't matter what Applewood Plumbing does with their marketing at this point. All they're doing is driving people to see the negative reviews about their business. And how would you feel if you went and searched about this business and here were the reviews that you found? Poor to fair, poor to fair, poor to fair, all right? And if you read the details of the reviews, I mean, they're largely just beating up Applewood Plumbing for poor service. So poor Applewood Plumbing, no matter what it does with the rest of its marketing, no matter how well it does with those other 3 R's, is going to run head on into a serious problem growing their business because of their poor reputation. So your goal is to make sure that you have a 5-star reputation at your business. Okay, that should be your first goal, is to make sure that you have a 5-star reputation at your business. Now, how do you do that? Well, I think that the most important and controllable thing that you can do, besides, of course, making sure that you deliver great products and services, right, which you absolutely should be focused on, but the next step is to contribute. Contribute to the conversation about your business in a meaningful way. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you can't control what people are saying about your company, right? I mean, that's largely up to the individual. No matter how good of a job you do with your products and services, some people are going to say negative things. It's just a fact of life and being in business. But you can make sure that you're adding enough good content to the conversation that is taking place online to ensure that the ratio of positive content out there versus negative content that's out there is in your favor. Okay? What I mean by that is you should strategically make sure that you are getting content online that is supportive of your brand and positive about your brand, so that when a consumer does do a search, they find good things about your company and not just a bunch of bad reviews. The first step to doing this is to take ownership of the profiles in all of your key directories and networks. Okay, so what I mean by directories and networks, I'm talking about sites like Yelp, like I mentioned before, LinkedIn, the Google Plus Local reviews listings that I just showed you a minute ago are absolutely most important, since those are a part of the Google search engine. But depending on what business you're in, maybe a site like TripAdvisor, certainly Facebook, Twitter, things like that. You want to make sure that you have a company presence where you need to have it, that you have taken control of that presence, and that you are making sure that the information that's in these listings and directory sites is complete and accurate. Okay, because you may not even realize it. You have a company listing in just about all of these sites already, and many more, right? The Super Pages, the Yellow Pages sites online, they've all created listings about just about every business out there. But if you have not taken control of it, that means that the information on there may be wrong, it may be incomplete, you may be getting bad reviews from customers up there and not even know it, not even having a chance to respond to them. Okay, so you've got to take ownership of these profiles to make sure that you can control the message that's on there. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to publish your own story about your business. You want to make your own news. You want to post on good, positive, helpful subjects that will help your clients and customers and prospects. And you want to add social media sharing buttons to all of that content to make sure that people can spread the good word about your business. So how can you do that? Well, some examples here. Make educational videos and post them to YouTube. Video is incredibly powerful. Video is continuing to grow at just an absolutely amazing rate. And look at this statistic. Any given video